So what's up guys, it's Jake and this is the 4th episode of the completed transfers for FIFA 19. And if you want to see more transfers, I will leave a card to the previous episodes. Click that to check that out and let's get into this video. And the first player we got is Thomas Lemar, a huge signing for Atletico Madrid. 70 million euros was a transfer fee that Atletico Madrid have paid for the services to AS Monaco. Thomas Lemar, the last couple of seasons, he has been outstanding for Monaco and is clearly bred to the scenes of football. And in terms of Ultimate Team, this is going to be great, Atletico Madrid doesn't have like a really good wingers in Ultimate Team. And Thomas Lemar, which is French linked to Antoine Griezmann, who's probably staying because he signed a new contract at Atletico Madrid at upper striker as well. The hyperlink is going to be so much useful for squad builders in the next year. In terms of rating, I think he should get an 84 rated card, which he already has in the Ultimate Team, with slight improvements to his stats. And next we got Sokratis Papastopoulos. However you like to call that, he has joined Arsenal and Arsenal are in dire need of a centre-back after a really bad season defensively last campaign, and Sokratis, I think so, will be the perfect fit for Arsenal. For 16 million, Sokratis seems to be one of the bargain for one of the proven centre-backs who has had a very good couple of years at Borussia Dortmund and is now moved into the Premier League. And in terms of Ultimate Team, his card has always been the best cards. He's got pace, he's got very good defensive attributes. He's nice, tall and strong as well, so it's going to be one of the great centre-back cards to use next year, and I predict him to get an 85 rated card. Another big signing for Paris Saint-Germain is getting the services of Buffon from Juventus. And after all these years with Juventus, Buffon has finally moved club, and on a free transfer of course. And in terms of Ultimate Team, he currently has an 89 rated card. His rating has got to go down sometime. For a 40-year-old, almost getting a 90 rated card is an insane achievement, in FIFA, and I think he'll get an 88 rated card for Paris Saint-Germain next year. Odriozola, who recently had a breakthrough season at the Liga Santander with Real Sociedad, and Real Madrid saw very good potential in him and have signed him for 30 million euros. And for Ultimate Team aspect, you should get a decent looking gold card. Another Spanish fullback, Yuri, has moved clubs, and this time he moved from Paris Saint-Germain to Athletic Club for a transfer fee of around 24 million. Yuri used to be playing in the Liga Santander before the last couple of seasons. He decided to move to PSG and is now back at Liga Santander. He had a very decent season at PSG and should get a very decent card in FIFA 19. So moving on, Napoli have made some very good business in the transfer window so far, and the first player we got is Fabian Ruiz from Real Betis. Obviously have a fantastic season last campaign in the Liga Santander, and the reason this is a very important transfer is because Manchester City are closing in on signing a Napoli centre mid who's a very high potential Italian wonder kid as well, so this might be to replace him, and the transfer value of this deal was around 30 million. And in terms of Ultimate Team, this guy should get a very big, nice upgrade. He currently has a very mediocre looking silver card, and in terms of FIFA 19, I predict him to get a very high rated 70s rated card, probably even a 79, maybe even pushing to 80s, but I've given a 78 rated card depending on the database. And Simone Verdi is another player who has joined Napoli this campaign. He had a very good season, 10 goals and 10 assists in the last campaign, and the transfer value of this deal was around 25 million. And Simone Verdi, who has been out to a number of clubs in the last 3 or 4 years, out on loan, and it never felt right with any other club, but I think it might be the perfect deal for both the club and the player. And in terms of Ultimate Team, he should get a nice big upgrade, get a low 80 rated card, and with 5-star weak foot and 4-star skill moves he has, this card looks really appealing. And Napoli have also signed Alex Miret, a high potential Italian goalkeeper from Udinese, for around 22 million. He was on loan at the last campaign and he was troubled with injuries in the earlier parts of it, but in the final few matches he was good, and he has a lot of potential, this kid. So Napoli have decided to sign him, and I think it's finally time for him to get a gold card. And Kevin Prince Boateng is going to be back at Calcio on a free transfer to play for Sassuolo next campaign. And for the last couple of seasons at Frankfurt, he has played a number of positions. This guy is so versatile. He has been playing as striker, though that's why he's got a striker card in FIFA 18. But in the last campaign, which just finished, he has been playing as a midfielder. So in FIFA 19, he'll be back to a midfield card, and which is very vital because his stats, he's got low pace, low dribbling, and low shooting, which is not ideal for a striker position. But for a centre mid, his well-round card would be one of the OP cards, which is going to be cheap and it's going to be highly usable. And Stuttgart has signed Gonzalo Castro from Borussia Dortmund for 5 million euros, and this might be one of the greatest bargain. Castro has been one of the best midfielders, but the last season wasn't so great for him at Borussia Dortmund, and Dortmund getting Delaney, who's a very good centre mid. Castro's opportunities at Dortmund were limited with a lot of young players at Dortmund as well. So I think it would be best move for Castro to move on to a different club, and Stuttgart might fit him perfectly. And Castro has been one of the highly consistent player who has been consistently getting a very good 80 rated card, and once again in FIFA 19 he should have a very decent card. Southampton has signed a really skillful player, Elyounoussi, from FC Basel for around 18 million. The Norwegian has had a fantastic season in the last 12 months, 15 goals and 17 assists in 44 appearances, at the Swiss League. Should get him a nice looking 80 rated card, or even more so. And this guy is a fantastic skiller and a versatile player in attack. He can play at left, he can play at right, he can play at middle as well. So it's going to be great to watch him next year to play for Southampton. And in terms of Ultimate Team, you should get a low 80 rated card and some decent stats in this card as well. And the reason that Southampton moved for Elyounoussi is because Dusan Sadic has left Southampton to play for Ajax in the Eredivisie for a transfer value of around 12 million. And Tadic has been playing mostly on the right hand side in the last couple of seasons. So I think it's time that EA recognized that and give him a right mid card next year. And the final player we have is Ibrahim, who has moved to Sevilla for a transfer value of around 15 million. And he is a very highly defensive minded player who can also play as a centre back. And the reason this transfer is important for Sevilla is because two of their midfielders are currently rumored to be leaving them. One is Steven Nzonzi, who is rumored to be leaving for Arsenal to be reunited with Unai Emery. And Ever Banega, after having a very good World Cup, might be in for switching clubs as well. So we have to wait and see for that in the future. So that's going to be the end of this episode, guys. If you like this video, drop a like, and I'll see you in another video soon.